160 billion pounds of food are wasted each year in this country. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Derek Fiorenza. He is founder and president of Fiorenza's Food for Friends. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let's talk a little bit about food waste overall.
Sure.
Internationally, this is an issue. It's an issue here in the United States. Talk to us a little bit about those numbers and what that means in terms of food production and working to feed people.
Absolutely. So globally, in terms of US dollars, it represents $1 trillion in food waste. And it's about a third. So 30% or so of the food that's produced, either in the production phase or the consumption phase, is wasted. And that's globally. Now in America, we have roughly 50 million Americans that go hungry every day. 1 in 5 or 1 in 6%. The 160 billion pounds is the food, the translation. What that means percentage-wise, though, is roughly 40% of the food that's produced or consumed in the United States is currently wasted or discarded.
You as an organization are working to change those numbers, but there's also a bill that you say makes it easier to capture, repurpose unwanted food, but that's still usable. Talk to us a little bit about that bill and what it does.
Well, this bill was recently passed, the omnibus bill, does a couple of different things. In the past, if you were a C corporation, you were able to donate your food and receive a tax deduction of up to 10% of your net income. However, this new bill now, for all business entities, they're able to take advantage of it. So if you're an S Corp or an LLC, you can now receive the same benefit that the C Corporation did. It's also been extended permanently. So this used to be on a 2-year renewal cycle. Now it's extended permanently. Additionally, they've raised the tax deduction limit from 10% to 15% on net income. So what it has done is it creates more of an incentive for restaurants to donate their excess food and now receive a greater tax deduction for doing it.
And you mentioned restaurants, but you also work with other partners like colleges and universities in order to get students involved in this process of recapturing unwanted food, but that can be used for other purposes to feed people.
Sure. So the vision of this organization, Fiorenza's Food for Friends, is to create a world without hunger. The mission, the way we do that, is to connect sources of excess food with recipients in need. So what we're doing specifically with, let's take colleges first, we're working with them and giving them the option. We will either A, connect you directly to a local homeless shelter or agency that needs food, or we'll help you put together a program where your students can transport the food. That's what we're doing on the university side. We're also working with restaurants, hospitals, caterers, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a culture whereby the food that they traditionally would discard or throw out, they're now thinking, how can we repurpose this and serve it to those who are in need?
And this is a challenge because it is a challenge to distribute canned goods, for example, but we are talking about something very perishable when you're talking about this type of repurposing of food.
Sure. So there are a lot of different challenges that are associated with perishable food. Number 1 is safety, and then number 2 is logistics. So our role is to facilitate those relationships, to build the bridges to connect the source of food to the recipient. And that's what we do.
And you mentioned the partnerships with colleges and universities, but you're also looking for business partners to get involved.
Absolutely. So if you're a business owner and you own a restaurant or whether it's hotels, any source of excess food that would be interested in donating food, we'd like to connect and then introduce them to recipients that are in need.
And when we talk about this works to make a difference in providing hot meals, for example, at a homeless shelter. That's the kind of partnerships that we're talking about.
Sure. This is all the food that was maybe in the freezer that they're changing the menu, they want to donate that excess food, or it's food that was prepared but never brought out. This all makes up food waste, so we're just trying to repurpose that food to those in need.
Thanks, Derek. We've been talking with Derek Fiorenza. He's founder and president of Fiorenza's Food for Friends. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.